when I heard that in the past, and maybe some other guys that are listening and will read the book, a good king, if you're going to be a good king, you got to look like Jesus. Well, man, that sounds impossible.
Right.
Like, I can't be the son of God, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? So what's that look like? Like, how do you walk into that? And I know you get into that the book, like not just what does that mean? What is a good king? Because I think we could discover that, right? You could go to the Bible, you could read about Jesus, and there's your example. It's the bridge between me as a guy who there's a 0% chance that I've interpreted my life correctly.
Right.
And there's a 100% chance that I've been wounded.
Right.
There's a 100% injury rate amongst men. Women too. But we're talking about men.
Right.
So how do I bridge the gap between the example that Jesus gave and gives and me and my brokenness and misunderstanding?
Yeah. And it's more obtainable than you think.
Oh, I'm discovering.
I mean,
doubt.
in terms of becoming like Jesus, that is actually, as wild as it sounds, that's the idea.
How cruel would it be, right? God, if you couldn't do it?
Yeah, that God had, that he would, he would send his likeness. Here's Jesus, God-man, and he's showing us that we can have what Jesus has with the Father.
Yeah.
And so you see John 14, 15, 16, 17, this very important, group of chapters. And so, the frustrating thing is when you're being invited to do something that you can't, or don't know how.
Feels impossible because you don't know where to start.
Or weren't equipped.
Sure.
I was just talking to one of our team the other day, and he said, I don't like feeling like I'm not competent. And I went, it's like Morpheus. I know exactly how you feel.
Exactly what you mean.
Yeah, man. And so, but it was just an honest expression of, it's one of our newer teammates and them stepping in, they're learning the way, they're learning the different things about our shop and our team and how we roll. And so, to feel like a foreigner or to feel like I'm out of class, to feel like I don't understand
the language.
Right. All of that. And so, I think to your point, I think as men, and I think women have their version of this too. I don't know what I'm supposed to be. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. I don't know how to do this. And that's frustrating if it's something as weighty as Christianity, as faith, and you're being told that you're the problem.
Right. You're getting told that you're doing it wrong, but you're not telling me how to do it right.
Yeah, exactly.
It is very frustrating.
So all of that to say, I hope that it's a hopeful book that kind of explains some of the things that have happened and why they can happen in this place called a fallen world.
Yeah.
And so the first part of the tagline, the first part of the subtitle of King Me is the hope of every man to be validated that way, initiated and validated, and the desire of God to do so.